Good morning. It's not too hot yet, so that's a good thing. My name is Joyce Wetzeltoft, and I'm happy to serve as your worship associate. This is Neighborhood Unitarian Universalist Church in Pasadena, where we create and grow an inclusive community of faith connected by love, spirit, and service. We acknowledge our presence on the ancestral and unceded territory of the Gabrielino Tongva peoples, the traditional caretakers of the lands and waters of this campus. Today's service is led by the Reverend Dr. Omega S. Burkhart and Alan Freeman. Our music today is led by Wells Lang, Tiffany Lantano, Sonia Ohan, and Adrian Banuelos, with soloist Cesario Perez. All activities have moved to the sanctuary building for summer programming. There are activities and additional information for you in the family information sheet in the entryway. Families with young children are always welcome in the sanctuary, and there is an additional play area for the very youngest in our narthex. For adults and older youth who don't need assistance, there's a quiet table for doodling and drawing close to the organ. I'd like to draw your attention to the following announcements. Are you a gardener? I'm not. Would you love to help maintain the historic church grounds? I'd love to do it, but I'm not very good at it. The Dirt Divas, which is the name of the group that does this, invite you to grab your shovels and rakes and join them this fall as they undertake some larger project in addition to the regular maintenance of our plants and grounds. Talk to Sue Erie or see this week's newsletter for more information. There's Sue over there. So I love the fact that we have this group that does that, since I'm total spaz at it. Registration for two important NUUC traditions is happening now. One is Camp de Benneville Pines Family Camp and the Esperanza service trip to Mexico. See the weekly newsletter for more information. Families, please fill out the survey in the newsletter to indicate your preferences for programming in the upcoming year. And lastly, Chalice Circles continue to take registrations for members to join the small group ministry gatherings throughout the next year. These groups meet monthly, in person and on Zoom, for deep spiritual conversations. See the folks at the table on the patio after the service to get more information. And we have a special guest to speak with some more information about the experience of participating in a Chalice Circle. And please welcome Emily Brana.
Good morning. I'm Emily Bronaugh. So my husband Brooks, my son Finn, and I joined Neighborhood last October, and we actually decided it was right to start the process of joining after I attended the young adult group and my first drop-in Chalice Circle. So the reason why that was so informative for us was because I could immediately feel and see how supportive the drop-in circle would be in helping me take our spirituality out of just my head and learn more about myself and implement those thoughts and perspectives into my day-to-day. We come from a Methodist background where attending church 3 times a week was something that was my norm, and it's where I made all of my best friends. So luckily, I knew that going to specific groups was how I was going to start to feel really connected to the community and engaged with the community here. Unfortunately, we live up in Palmdale, which is an hour away, for those that don't know. So I didn't know if I would be able to commit every single month to joining a regular drop-in or a regular Chalice Circle. But I still wanted the opportunity to grow and learn and build relationships. So when I heard about the drop-in option, I was like, that was perfect. The hosts of the drop-in circle are incredibly welcoming and gracious, and I felt included and welcomed every time I did go, even though it was only a couple of times. The intention of the drop-in circle is that whether you come every month or not, you feel very connected to the group. Everyone genuinely wants to hear each other's perspectives, their hopes, and what's going on with all of our lives. And the best part was that I met a bunch of people that I would definitely not have met had we just stuck to coming on Sundays. I even got out of my shell, which is very difficult for a socially awkward introvert like me, and had lunch with some people that I wouldn't have engaged with otherwise because the drop-in circle gave me that foundation of connection. So there was always really great, thoughtful conversation that often took the wisdom from Sundays and expanded on it, allowing me to formulate my perspective and how I'd bring it into my life more deeply than had it just been on Sundays. The circle was also a very helpful way to learn about Unitarian Universalism in general after becoming new members. And of course, there's always snacks. So if you're hesitant, I say just sign up for the drop-in circle, see what it's about, because there's nothing to lose. It's a once-a-month meeting right after church service, so it's easy to attend, and I hope I'll see anyone there. Thank you.
Thanks, Emily, and thanks for commuting from Palmdale. That's quite a challenge. Today, if you'd like to follow along, our order of service this morning is available as a link in the Sunday email, which you've got, and online by scanning the QR code in the back of your hymnal with your phone camera. Again, welcome to Neighborhood Church, an inclusive faith community connected by love, spirit, and service. Please rise in body or spirit to join us in singing the processional hymn, number 368, Now Let Us Sing, from the Gray Hymnal.
Now let us sing to the Father, sing, sing. Now let us sing to the Father, sing, sing. Lift up your voice, be not afraid. And let us sing to the power of the faith within. Now let us sing to the Father, sing, sing. Now let us sing.
Dazzling and tremendous, how quick the sunrise would kill me if I could not now and always send sunrise out of me. These lines from poet Walt Whitman's lifelong project entitled Leaves of Grass compel us to consider the grandiose, the radiant, the complex figure of this poet of an aspirational and nascent America, one in which a bold beauty, geography, physical and emotional love of all humans of all kinds, a celebration of the body and of sex and nature, all of these are lauded. They are held in wonder, with joy, and with exuberant gusto. Today we gather to celebrate Poetry Sunday with the words of Walt Whitman. 200 years after his birth, his words remain a love song to the potential of this country, its vastness, its wildness, the complexity of its peoples. Today, more than ever, when the ideals of this country seem to be lost. Walt Whitman was, to his contemporaries, both a genius and a plague on the written language. Prophets are often seen this way. In the words of Ezra Pound, Whitman was a bold archetypal figure who was distrusted and also begrudgingly loved and admired. What I feel about Walt Whitman, said Pound, he is America. He is the hollow place in the rock that echoes with his time. He does chant the crucial stage, and he is the voice triumphant. He is disgusting. He is an exceedingly nauseating pill, but he accomplishes his mission. He then goes on to say, Pound, mentally, I am a Walt Whitman who has learned to wear a collar and a dress shirt. The problem with Whitman, says Pound, is not that he broke all the rules, but that he sometimes obeyed them, and the moments of obedience undercut his expansive originality. Today, as many of us gathered here in this room and beyond, as we rage against what our country has become, as we are frustrated by the inadequacies that have always been here and we wish so desperately to change. Today, as we need more inspiration and we need more beauty to sustain ourselves, let us turn to Whitman and his expansive and his aspirational beauty of an America that could be. Come, let us worship together this morning.
I saw in Louisiana a live oak growing. All alone stood it, and the moss hung down from the branches. Without any companion, it grew there, uttering joyous leaves of dark green. And its look, rude, unbending, lusty, made me think of myself. But I wondered how it could utter joyous leaves upon it, and twinned and twined around it a little moss, and brought it away, and I've placed it in a site in my room. It is not needed to remind me of my own dear friends, for I believe lately I think little else than of them. Yet it remains to me a curious token. It makes me think of manly love. For all that, and through the live oak glistens there in Louisiana, solitary in a wide, flat space, uttering joyous leaves all its life, without a friend, a lover near. I know very well that I could not.
Every Sunday, this congregation dedicates 100% of its offerings. You can donate in one of two ways: by using your phone or here in person. You may rise during the music to put your donation in the boxes, which are here, back there, and in the narthex. This week, our gifts will support the cancer support community of the greater San Gabriel Valley. And I just want to say, and I've already talked to Susabella here, to say this organization is so important, and my very dear friend had a lot of benefits from it in her journey through her cancer. So Susabella Hubert, I believe, hopefully I'm pronouncing it right, please tell us more.
Good morning, everyone. So great to be here. Thank you for the privilege and honor. Before I tell you a little bit about Cancer Support Community of San Gabriel Valley, I'd like to share why this mission is so personal to me. I live in Sierra Madre, have been for 26 years. I grew up in Pasadena. And 3 years back, I was walking in town, watching this architectural building transform into something, and of course, me being curious, I'm like, what is going on? So I went inside and discovered Cancer Support had just redone the entire building. Absolutely beautiful. I walked in and I never left. Also, it's very close to me. I lost my father and my brother to pancreatic cancer. I also lost my husband to multiple myeloma just in 22. So, and though my losses were great, my heart wanted to reach out to others in pain. And as a volunteer, I've had the opportunity in many ways, and especially I've been able to give of my time and my talents through giving workshops. I did a succulent arranging workshop as well as a flower arranging one. And to see the wonderful smiles of the people after they create this beautiful piece that they do, it's a really special moment to me to see that joy, that I was able to bring just a bit of joy to them and to help their healing. Today, I have the privilege of volunteering with this incredible organization because I've seen firsthand the difference that it makes. CSC is a place where people don't have to face cancer by themselves. It's a place where people can find hope, understanding, friendship, and practical support during one of the most difficult seasons of their life. Every service that we offer is completely free, whether someone is newly diagnosed, they may be in treatment, or living beyond cancer, or caring for a loved one, or grieving a loss. They're welcomed, all of them, with open arms. Each year, Cancer Support Community offers hundreds of support groups, educational workshops, healthy lifestyle classes, exercise programs, creative art workshops, and many social activities. These programs care for the whole person, not just the disease, because cancer impacts every part of life. One of the things I love most about CSC is that no one is expected to go through the journey alone. Sometimes healing begins simply by sitting in a room with someone who understands exactly what you're going through. The mission is especially meaningful to me because this community has always been home. I grew up in Pasadena, and I now live in Sierra Madre, so it's incredibly special to serve an organization that supports my neighbors and friends throughout the San Gabriel Valley. If you or someone you know is facing cancer, I hope that you'll reach out to us. We would love to welcome you to our center, listen to your story, and connect with you and support through education and the community that you deserve. You don't need to wait until you're in crisis. We are here for patients, caregivers, survivors, families, and anyone who is grieving. So please come visit us. I want to thank the Neighborhood Community Church for welcoming us today. Your kindness and your generosity reflect the very spirit of community that makes organizations like ours possible. Everything we do is made possible because people choose to care. Whether someone volunteers, tells a friend about our services, or makes a financial gift, every act of generosity helps ensure that no one has to face cancer alone. Thank you for allowing me to share a little bit of my story and a little bit about CSC. Blessings to all of you. Thank you.
Thanks very much. I think all of us in some way have been impacted by cancer. And again, I just want to give my full support to this great organization. So thank you all for giving generously.
Lover divine and perfect comrade, waiting content, invisible yet, but certain, be thou my God. Thou, the ideal man, fair, able, beautiful, content and loving, complete in body and dilate in spirit, be thou my God. O death, what life has served its death, O banner and usher to the heavenly mansion, be thou my God. Thought of mightiest, best I see, conceive or know, to break the stagnant tide, thee to free, oh soul, be thou my God. All great ideas, the race's aspirations, all heroisms, deeds of rapt shape of earth divine and wondrous, or some fair shape I viewing worship, or lustrous orb of sun or star by night. Be thou my gods.
The first reading we offer you this morning comes from the preface of Leaves of Grass, written by Whitman and first published in the 1850s, but he went on to add to and redact and create more and change throughout his whole life. The preface begins this way. The Americans of all nations at any time upon this earth have probably the fullest poetical nature. The United States themselves are essentially the greatest poem. In the history of the earth, hitherto the largest and most stirring appear tame and orderly to their ampler largeness and stir. Here, at last, is something in the doings of man that corresponds with the broadcast doings of the day and the night. Here is not merely a nation, but a teeming nation of nations. Here is action united from strings, necessarily blind to particulars and details, magnificently moving in vast masses. Here is the hospitality which forever indicates heroes. Here are the ruffs and beards and space and ruggedness and nonchalance the soul loves. Here, the performance disdaining the trivial, unapproached in the tremendous audacity of its crowds and groupings, and the push of its perspective spreads with crampless and flowing breadth and showers its prolific and splendid extravagance. One sees it must indeed own the riches of the summer and winter, and need never be bankrupt while corn grows from the ground, or the orchards drop apples, or the bays contain fish, or men beget children upon women. This is the sum of the profitable uses of individuals or states, and of present action and grandeur and the subject of poets. As if it were necessary to trot back generation after generation to the Eastern records. As if the beauty and sacredness of the demonstrable must fall behind that of the mythical. As if men do not make their mark out of any times. As if the opening of the Western continent by discovery and what has transpired since in North and South America were less than the small theater of the antique or the aimless sleepwalking of the Middle Ages. The pride of the United States leaves the wealth and finesse of the cities, and all returns of the commerce and agriculture, and the magnitude of geography, or shows of exterior victory, to enjoy the breed of full-sized men, or one full-sized man, unconquerable and simple.
From sections 1 through 6 of the Leaves of Grass. I celebrate myself and sing myself, and what I assume, you shall assume, for every atom belonging to me as good belongs to you. I loaf and invite my soul. I lean and loaf at my ease, observing a spear of summer grass.
My tongue, every atom of my blood formed from this soil, this air. Born here of parents, born here from parents the same, and their parents the same. I, now 37 years old, in perfect health begin, hoping to cease, not till death. Creeds and schools in abeyance, retiring back a while, sufficed at what they were, but never forgotten. I harbor for good or bad. I permit to speak at every hazard, nature without check, with original energy.
Houses and rooms are full of perfumes. The shelves are crowded with perfumes. I breathe the fragrance myself and know it and like it. The distillation would intoxicate me also, but I shall not let it.
The atmosphere is not perfume. It has no taste of the distillation. It is odorless. It is for my mouth forever. I am in love with it. I will go to the bank by the wood and become undisguised and naked. I am mad for it to be in contact with me.
The smoke of my own breath echoes, ripples, buzzed whispers, love root, slick silk thread, crotch and vine, my respiration and inspiration, the beating of my heart, the passing of blood and air through my lungs, the sniff of green leaves and dry leaves, and of the shore and dark-colored sea rocks, and of hay in the barn, the sound of the belched words of my voice, loosed to the eddies of the wind, a few light kisses, a few embraces, a reaching around of arms, the play of shine and shade on the trees as the supple boughs wag. The delight alone, or in the rush of the streets, or alone on the fields, the hillsides, the feeling of health, the full noon trill, the song of me rising from bed and meeting the sun.
Have you reckoned 1,000 acres much? Have you reckoned the earth much? Have you practiced so long to read? Have you felt so proud to get at the meaning of poems?
Stop this day and night with me, and you shall possess the origin of all poems. You shall possess the good of the earth and sun. There are millions of suns left. You shall no longer take things at second or third hand, nor look through the eyes of the dead, nor feed on the specters in books. You shall not look through my eyes either, nor take things from me. You shall listen to all sides and filter them from yourself.
I have heard what talkers were talking, the talk of the beginning and the end. But I do not talk of the beginning or the end. There was never any more inception than there is now, nor any more youth or age than there is now, and will never be any more perfection than there is now, nor any more heaven or hell than there is now.
Urge and urge and urge, always the procreant urge of the world. Out of the dimness opposite equals advance. Always substance and increase, always sex, always a knit of identity, always distinction, always a breed of life. To elaborate is to no avail. Learned and unlearned feel that it is so. Sure as the most certain sure, plumb in the uprights, well entreated, braced in the beams, stout as a horse, affectionate, haughty, electrical, I and this mystery, here we stand. Clear, and sweet is my soul, and clear and sweet is all that is not my soul. Lack one lacks both, and the unseen is proved by the seen, till that becomes unseen and receives proof in its turn, showing the best and dividing it from the worst stage vexes age. Knowing the perfect fitness and equanimity of things, while they discuss, I am silent and go bathe and admire myself. Welcome is every organ and attribute of me, and of any man hearty and clean, not an inch nor a particle of an inch is vile, and none shall be less than familiar than the rest.
I am satisfied. I see, dance, laugh, sing. As the hugging and loving bedfellow sleeps at my side through the night and withdraws at the peep of the day with stealthy tread, leaving me baskets covered with white towels, swelling the house with their plenty. Shall I postpone my acceptation and realization and scream at my eyes that they turn from gazing after and down the road, and forthwith cipher and show me to a cent exactly the value of one and exactly the value of two, which is ahead?
Trippers and askers surround me. People I meet, the effect upon me of my early life, or the ward in the city I live in, or the nation, the latest dates, discoveries, inventions, societies, authors old and new, my dinner, dress, associates, looks, compliments, dues, the real or fancied indifference of some man or woman I love, the sickness of one of my folks, or myself, or ill-doing, or loss, or lack of money, or depressions, or exultations, battles, the horrors of fratricidal war, the fever of doubtful news, the fitful events. These come to me days and nights and go from me again. But they are not the me myself.
Apart from the pulling and hauling stands what I am. Stands amused, complacent, compassionating, idle, unitary, looks down, is erect, or bends an arm or an impalpable certain rest, looks with side-curved head, curious what will come next, both in and out of the game, and watching and wondering at it. Backward, I see in my own days where I sweated through fog with linguists and contenders. I have no mockings or arguments. I witness and wait.
I believe in you, O my soul. The other I am must not abase itself to you, and you must not be abased to the other.
Loaf with me on the grass. Loose the stop from your heart, from your throat. Not words, not music or rhyme I want, not custom or lecture, not even the best. Only the lull I like, the hum of your velvet voice.
I mind how once we lay, such a transparent summer morning, how you settled your head athwart my hips and gently turned over upon me, and parted the shirt from my bosom born, plunged your tongue to my bare stripped heart, and reached till you felt my beard, and reached till you held my feet.
Swiftly arose and spread around me the peace and knowledge that pass all the argument of the earth. And I know that the hand of God is the promise of my own.
And I know that the Spirit of God is the brother of my own.
And all men ever born are also my brothers, and the women my sisters and lovers.
And that a kelson of creation is love.
And limitless are leaves stiff or drooping in the fields.
And brown ants in the little wells beneath them.
And mossy scabs of the worm fence, heaped stones, elder, mullein, and pokeweed.
A child said, "What is the grass?" Fetching it to me with full hands, how could I answer the child? I do not know what it is any more than he.
I guess it must be the flag of my disposition out of hopeful green stuff woven.
Or I guess it is the handkerchief of the Lord, a scented gift and remembrancer designedly dropped, bearing the owner's name some way in the corners that we may see and remark and say, whose?
Or I guess the grass is itself a child, the produced babe of the vegetation.
Or I guess it is a uniform hieroglyphic, and it means sprouting alike in broad zones and narrow zones, growing among black folks and among white, Canuck, Tuckahoe, Congressman, Cuff. I give them the same. I receive them the same.
And now it seems to me the beautiful uncut hair of graves. Tenderly I will use you, curling grass. It may be you transpire from the breasts of young men. It may be if I had known them, I would have loved them. It may be you are from old people or from offspring taken too soon out of their mother's laps, and here you are, their mother's laps.
The grass is very dark to be from the white heads of old mothers, darker than the colorless beards of old men, dark to come from the faint red roofs of mouths.
Oh, I perceive after so many uttering tongues, and I perceive they do not come from roofs of mouths for nothing.
I wish I could translate the hints about the dead young men and women, and the hints about old men and mothers, and the offspring taken soon out of their laps.
What do you think has become of the young and the old men? And what do you think has become of the women and children?
They are alive and well somewhere. The smallest sprout shows there is really no death. If ever there was, it led forward life and does not wait at the end to arrest it, and ceased the moment life appeared.
All goes on, onward and outward. Nothing collapses. And to die is different from what anyone supposed, and luckier.
Please rise in body or in spirit and join us in singing our closing hymn, number 1051, We Are. For each child that's born, a morning star rises each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings. Universe, who we are. We are our grandmother's prayers, and we are our grandfather's dreamings. We are the breath of our ancestors. We are the Spirit of God. We are mothers of courage and fathers of time. We are daughters of dust and the sons of great visions, sisters of mercy and brothers of love. We are lovers of life and the builders of nations, seekers of truth and keepers of faith. We are makers of peace and the wisdom of ages. We are our grandmother's prayers. We are our grandfather's dreamings. We are the breath of our ancestors. We are the Spirit of God. We are mothers of courage, fathers of time. We are daughters of dust and the sons of great visions, sisters of mercy and brothers of love. We are lovers of life and the builders of nations. We're seekers of truth and keepers of faith. We are makers of peace and the wisdom of ages. We are our grandmother's prayers. We are our grandfather's dreamings. We are the breath of our ancestors. We are the Spirit of God. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are.
For a benediction, we have two poems from Leaves of Grass. I sing the body electric, and for you, O democracy. The man's body is sacred, and the woman's body is sacred. No matter who it is sacred. Is the meanest one in the laborer's gang? Is it the one of dull-faced immigrants just landed on the wharf? Each belongs here, or anywhere, just as the well-off, just as much as you. Each has his or her place in the procession. Come, I will make the continent indissoluble. I will make the most splendid race the world and the sun ever shone upon. I will make divine magnetic lands with the love of comrades, with the lifelong love of comrades.
I will plant companionship thick as trees along all the rivers of America, and along the shores of the Great Lakes, and all over the prairies. I will make inseparable cities with their arms about each other's necks, by the love of comrades, by the manly love of comrades.
For you, these from me, O democracy, to serve you, ma femme. For you I am trilling these songs.